I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to take the green screen off because it was lagging. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the live play-by-play reactions that I did, watching the whole game. I know it was very, very tough of us to do this game, but what is up, Raider Nation? What is up? We're back with the post-game live of the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New England Patriots. I got my guy Chad here to break it down with me. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, man?
Nothing, man. Just tough loss today. Tough loss. We really want to break this game down to the core. But I want to get your input on about this game and talk about it and how you feel about this, taking this loss.
Well, I mean, I knew we weren't going to go undefeated anyway. This loss was one that we talked about it earlier. We deemed this a winnable ball game, and they were just more prepared than what we were going into this thing. As I told you before, Belichick was watching that Monday nighter. He was taking in everything that the Raiders have been doing, and execution. It comes down to execution, and just today the Raiders couldn't get it done on either side of the football.
Now, I want to break it down to a point where I want to break it down from quarter to quarter. Now, that first quarter, I could say, giving up 3 points, and our defense looked really stout in that first quarter. I can say that. And I think defensively, we really didn't have a lot of penalties defensively. It was more on the offensive side, in my opinion. But I feel like that first quarter was we was moving the ball up and down the field. We were blocking correctly. We looked like we was going to go in here with looking like the New Orleans Saints game. Like it was like we came off of that New Orleans Saints game. Everything was flying on all cylinders. But once I seen that we gave up a lot of opportunities to this New England Patriots, I was like, okay, here we go. Bill Belichick is making his adjustments, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And like that second quarter, it was kind of getting away from us defensively, and then we was able to score. He was able to score with 28 seconds left in that before the end of the half. But this is what got me during this whole game. This is what got the heck out of me. New England Patriots called a final timeout with 12 minutes left in the game. And what we're down 10 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. When we got the ball back, why did John Gruden didn't go no huddle offense? I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. Like, as a coach, you have to think like, okay, if I run a no huddle offense, the only way they're going to be able to get a timeout or something like that if somebody's injured on the field.
Yeah,
but we had to capitalize off that with 12 minutes left and we're down 10. How we not capitalize off that?
Yep, I agree.
That's and that's what makes me mad about John Gruden. Like one game, he's so aggressively making good play calls, and today I don't know where his play calling was at.
It was inconsistency all over the field, and we're talking including the coaches. Inconsistency both sides of the football and within the coaching staff. As you said, they ran out of timeouts early in that second half. You would have figured the momentum would be on our side. We'd be able to do some things. They couldn't stop the clock. But yet, look at it this way too. We couldn't stop the run. I mean, Rex Burkhead, we made him look like Alvin Kamara today. Okay? And it was just, it was insane. And nothing that they did, excluding that first quarter, and we'll even go into the second quarter and on that scoring drive that they had. They did nothing right that whole second half. They came out of the locker room and it just, they didn't do anything.
It was no adjustments made.
No, absolutely none. You knew Belichick was going to make adjustments to the game, what was going on, the flow of it and everything. Belichick is. If you want to be one of the top-notch coaches in this league, eventually you're going to have to go up against Bill Belichick and outcoach him. And right now, John Gruden is just not on that level.
All right, just give me 1 second here. Well, just to let y'all know that I'm not really I'm upset, but I'm not upset. I'm upset to a point where, like I said, we scored in 28 seconds in the first half. That should have gave you something because we went kind of no huddle. We was like, what? We had 2 timeouts, like 1 timeout left, and then we didn't have no timeouts, and then we thought that was 100.
We had 1 left at the end of that first half.
Right. And that's what made, the for us to, they thought Hunter Riffle didn't get in. So I don't think he didn't get in, but we still end up scoring with that 28 seconds. But at the end of the day, I don't know what was going on with this defense. Like they ran, like the New England Patriots didn't do nothing spectacular to beat us the way they beat us. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think about it in some source. All they did was run the screenplay to Burkhead, and we made no adjustment defensively. None. Where was our linebackers on that? We already know our defensive line was going upfield. Then what they did was they would stretch it out and cut back. That's all they really did. They didn't do nothing special. They didn't do nothing special offensively. It's just defensively. I don't know what Jonathan Abram was at today. He came out. He had first interception of the year. And then after that, he was nowhere to be found. You had Rex Burkhead juke you out of your shoes for a touchdown. I don't know if it was the Monday night hangover from beating the Saints, but that's what it looked like. We looked like we was drunk out there. Like we was like sluggish.
Yep.
I could break this game down to the core, to everything. But what is one thing that you think the Raiders should have changed in this game as far as adjustments wise, if you was the coach on the sideline?
So number one, I would have been looking at that jet sweep. I mean, they were running the ball, at will with multiple running backs with the exact same, results. I mean, they were gaining chunks and chunks when they were running the ball to the outside. Nobody at all was there to make a tackle. I don't even think any of them got touched until they were 3 yards at least down the field. Obviously, there were no adjustments made going into the half. There was nothing that was made to stop that. And then they continued running that as soon as they came back out again to the exact same results. They were able to move the football on the ground, effectively. And as I said, it wasn't just, one person. It was all 3 of their backs that they threw out there without Cam even taking off with the football. So that's one adjustment. That's probably the main adjustment that I would have made, was getting somebody out there to actually, stop that run game and make Cam beat you in the air.
Right, because like we did what we were supposed to do. A lot of people will say like Cam Newton was going to, throw the ball for like 300 yards. I think defensively we did well against Cam Newton. We got 2 sacks, for Max Crosby today, which he was nowhere to be found in the first 2 weeks. So he finally was getting off to a good start. And I gotta say, Cleveland Farrell looked good today. Mm-hmm. He looked really good on the opposite side, knowing that he didn't get, the sacks. But I think in the run game, and in the screen game when it came to like receivers and stuff, I was not really mad with Cleveland Farrell. But the screenplay to the running back to Rex Burkhead, I don't know where the linebackers are, because I thought like if a linebacker goes into a passing play, thought one of the linebackers is supposed to pick him up. I'm just saying like from the outside looking in, from a scheme thing. Trayvon Mullen played well. I can't lie. Trayvon Mullen played well. Julian Edelman didn't get nothing big on us. It was just a running game. It was just the running backs that we could not contain. Like they had the guy J.J. Taylor, Sony Michel, and Rex Burkhead. They will run the stretch and they will come back. They will cut back inside every single time. Mind you, when you run an outside play and you force it inside, that's supposed to help us. Like, if we like, where was the linebackers at when we forced it inside? Like, was y'all not scraping down?
Right.
Like, I'm confused. Like, what type of scheme is Paul Guttner running? And this is why I said that he should be fired. He made no adjustment. He stuck with his same first half defense. It exploited the crap out of us.
Yes. I think he expected to keep running the exact same defense and to get different results. That doesn't happen. Not at this level. You have to make those in-game adjustments because you know Belichick is. You know Belichick will. And he will find something to exploit your defense, and then he's going to run with it until you prove that you figured it out and you can make those adjustments yourself. And, I put a lot of this on our coaching staff. They didn't do, enough adjustments in this game at all. It seems like they stuck to the main script from kickoff till the end of the game. I did not see, I don't know if you've seen any, but I did not see any kind of in-game adjustments whatsoever during this game at all on either side of the ball.
And I was like arguing with a few Raider Nation fans because a lot of people want to blame Derek Carr for this game.
Jesus.
I am not blaming Derek Carr for this game when your offensive line is getting blown up from the snap.
The ones that are blaming him, man, don't let them get to you. Those are the exact same ones that used to play backup guard in high school.
Right. And it's the ones be like, oh, we see that Derek Carr missed Darren Waller with a wide open pass. How can he throw the wide open pass where you'd have Colton Miller getting beat the whole damn game?
Yeah. They don't look at the whole field. They see just what's their heads, actually see in this game. They don't see Derek getting pressured.
Nope. Like, he was getting pressured the whole damn game. Colton Miller could not hold up his end of the bargain.
No.
Simpson got exposed. Denzel Good definitely got exposed. And we paying Trent Brown $20 million, and he's not even playing.
Yep. You know what? The one thing I have to say, and like you, disappointed with the L. You don't want to lose. I was hoping going to Buffalo, back home, playing them at 3-0. But we'll see what kind of fire they got going into next week. Coming off of this loss, we'll see what kind of fire. There's got to be some changes. Not only personnel, we got to get guys healthy. Missing Henry Ruggs hurt. I mean, he was a guy that just, as just a decoy. I mean, you can have him out here not even get targeted or anything. Him just being on the field alone makes defenses play honest because you have to know where he's at all times. And I think missing him today, that was a real shot in the arm not having him out there.
And I feel like now, knowing that we didn't have Ruggs out there, I felt like Nelson Aguilar should have got more snaps.
Yes.
And because he's a speedster too. He know how to take defenses off the top. And I feel like you didn't put him, and I feel like Gruden didn't put Nelson Aguilar in that position what Ruggs can do. They run almost the same speed. You could have then you would have mixed and matched with Zay Jones and then, Brian Edwards going down. Hopefully that he's good to go for next week because we're just piling up injuries like it ain't nothing. We didn't see Amik Robinson the last 2 weeks. We don't know what's going on with Sam Young. And the question is, how healthy is really Trent Brown knowing that we paying him $20 million? Damon Arnett re-injured his thumb. He had to get a bigger freaking cast.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I'm like, I'm worried. I'm worried hopefully we can get healthy within the season, but we can't afford any more injuries right now, knowing that we got to get through these next couple of weeks. We got to get through Buffalo and KC. Once we get through those two, I think our chances are good, but these first 6 weeks is tough. Yep. No, my bad. It's Buffalo, then it's us, then it's Tampa Bay, right?
No, we have a home game against Buffalo, then we're in Kansas City, then we're a bye, and then it's a game against the Bucks at home.
Yeah, after the Tampa Bay game, after these next couple of games, we got to get healthy, man. We have to get healthy. We got a few people in the chat. Shout out to Loyal to Your Soil. Shout out to Lil Uzi Vert. Shout out to Presidential Trill. They saying a few things in the chat. Let's see here. Let's go back up. Matthew, let me just fix this real quick. So we can make this a little bit bigger for them.
Thank you.
Where is it? Oh, there we go. All right, so Matthew says that it wasn't Derek Carr. It wasn't. He said, bro, our defense was tired. We kept going 3 and out half of the second quarter. That our defense was gassed. Our defense was gassed majority of that game. None of that didn't start happening until the play time of possession. New England started grinding up the clock. Time of possession is big, and we're going to definitely get into that. We're definitely going to get into the time of possession as well. Presidential Trill says with Ruggs being out, was not worried about us stretching the field. That's why I said you should have put Aguilar there to stretch the field. You know, we've seen a few times that we went deep and we got the pass interference on Gilmore. So it's like, why not keep going to that if you know Aguilar is beating a good corner in Gilmore? Why not go to that? That's just me. Carr locks down to one receiver. Even Romo said to himself that Carr is missing open receivers. He's not only an announcer that says that. I got a question. My thing is this, though, loyal to the soil. You can't get it to the open receiver if your offensive line is not blocking. They can be open all they want, but if your offensive line is not blocking and he's getting pressure right at the time of the snap, then how can he get it to an open receiver?
Right. The thing about it is, and when he was locked onto one receiver, he had no time to look off for another one because he was being chased.
Mm-hmm. Every single time he was being chased. He said Carr is garbage. He don't extend plays, bro. How can you extend plays when the whole thing is collapsing? Your whole offensive line is collapsing. You can't say Carr is trash. How you say Carr is trash? The guy threw for almost 250 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. How can you say he threw for what? 23 of 38 today?
Carr's crap.
But Carr's garbage. But he outplayed Cam Newton, but Carr's garbage.
No, Carr's crap. He gave up those 36 points too.
Right.
Carr should have made those tackles on them running plays.
Exactly.
If you're going to blame the team, that's fine. But you better blame all 3 phases of that team whenever they lose. Won't even go to the coaching staff. You know, it's one of those things. One guy did not lose this football game today. Not one. The whole team lost this.
It's a team loss. You can't blame Carr. You can't blame one person. For we didn't have enough good field position when it came off of punts or kickoffs on special teams. That's one. Yeah, he outplayed Cam. Pull up the numbers. And I'm about listen, loyal to, I'm about to tell you right now. I'm going to look at the box score. Let's look at Cam Newton's numbers, and let's look at Derek Carr's numbers. Derek Carr was 24 of 32, 261 yards, 8.2 yards per play with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions and 2 sacks. Look, Carr, look at Cam Newton, 17 of 28, 162 yards, 5.8 yards per play, 1 interception, 1 TD, and sacked twice. Who outplayed who? Who outplayed who? That's all I really got to say. That's all I really got to say. And then, like Fierce Raider said, where was Rico Gafford? Another speedster that you could have put in there to implement the Henry Ruggs.
I've said that about several players. And we finally got a hint of where Jeff Heath finally is. They finally played him today. You know, he was finally out there on the field for the first time, I think, this year. So, I mean, finally, they're starting to sprinkle in guys, but I don't understand. When you're missing a speedster like Ruggs, why not bring in your other one that you've got? Somebody else that I think is just as fast as what Henry Ruggs is.
Right.
Man, you got to work that personnel better.
I don't know why that just came up, but I don't know why that just came up like that on the ESPN because I'm looking at the stat line. But like I was saying though, look at that offensive line. That offensive line could not hold nothing. We barely could get blocks for Josh Jacobs. What makes you think Carr was able to get to an open receiver? They took Waller away from us and we didn't adjust. We didn't. We didn't. They took Waller away from us, and we didn't go to no tight end like a veteran in Jason Witten. We went to Foster Moreau, twice? That's it?
Yeah.
We didn't utilize the other weapons that we have on this team. Like, you could have put Nelson Aguilar in a jet sweep to do what they do. Rico Gafford in the jet sweep. We could have put something over the top with speed. Bro, Waller was not open several times. I watched that whole game. He was not open several times. And if he was open, how Carr going to give him the ball when he's getting pressure from every size of the pocket?
Yeah.
This is my problem with like Raiders fans. You want to blame Carr, but nobody wants to put the blame on the offensive line. Put the blame on the offensive line. We're supposed to have a top 5 offensive line in football. And Carr got sacked twice. And he was pressured the whole game. Once we got a clean pocket in garbage time. Garbage time. Nobody want to talk about why John Gruden didn't go no huddle with 12 minutes left when the Patriots took their last time out. Nobody don't want to blame Gruden for that. But no, y'all want to put it on Derek Carr. No, it was coaching. Coaching was the reason of this loss. Coaching. Conservative play calling, no adjustments on defense. Period.
I agree with you.
It was nothing. And this is the problem.
I'm a fond believer, just like you are.
They just want to see Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm a fond believer, like you are. Games are won and lost in the trenches. That's why you pay those guys that kind of money, is to win games there. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't get a lot of the love, but you know what? You can lose a game because of them. We've seen that today. You can win a game because of them. We've seen that the previous 2 weeks. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. You know, the line's got to do a better job of protecting Derek Carr and opening up holes for Josh Jacobs in the run game.
Right. What's up, Malguli? What's going on, brother? Shout out to your Bears. Your Bears did win over the Falcons today. Shout out to your Bears. Y'all 3-0, but I do feel bad for Tariq Cohen. He might have a torn ACL, so hopefully y'all can, get somebody to, back him up. Hopefully it's not an ACL, but yeah, coaching lost this game, man. Coaching lost the game. It was no adjustments made. It was no adjustments made from Paul Gutner. Paul Gutner think that he could just sit back and have his linebackers just sit back in coverage and not bring no pressure to them. And then what the problem is, you go outside to cut back inside, and like right before anybody came in the chat, we said it. They was running stretch plays and cutting it back in. Linebackers was not scraping to the ball. See, loyal to the soil, he gonna say, "What are your QB if you can't challenge your own coach and audible to play? If the play don't look right, it don't have nothing to do with the audible. The fact that when the ball was snapped, Colton Miller was getting beat 1 or 2 seconds after the ball was snapped. Carr didn't have 3 seconds back there. He didn't have 3 seconds back there. He had a half a second to throw the football.
Yeah."
We still have receivers going into their routes by then. And you see what happens when you do give him a pocket. He had that big behind throw to Hunter Renfrow it was a possible touchdown. When you give him a pocket, he could throw the football. But the Patriots did what they supposed to do, man. They did what they supposed to do.
I'm about to say, and that's just it. And I don't like them as much as anybody. As a matter of fact, I probably cannot stand them more than any other team. But you know what? They came out and they took it to us. They made the correct adjustments, and our coaching staff didn't. And they, we flat out got out coached this game. We got outplayed. It was a complete team loss at every level. Every level.
We didn't throw no interceptions, but I think it was one questionable thing that I think they should have kept. They should have kept us. They should have gave us the ball. They say Josh Jacobs fumbled, but he recovered. But he recovered it. But I think that would have changed the aspect of the game. And mind you, nobody's talking about how Carlson missed the field goal to tie the game. Nobody's talking about that. We want to keep talking about Derek Carr, but Carlson almost. Carson. We could have tied the game up.
No, Derek Carr probably should have kicked that one too.
Yeah, Derek Carr probably should have kicked the field goal as well.
Right.
And he should have had, he should have had it like he should have been the illegal man downfield too, in the red zone.
Yep. I'm about to say, if you're going to put blame on somebody, I can see if Derek was dropping back with a clean pocket, throwing picks all day long. Okay, I get that.
Right.
But that was not the case. That was the furthest thing from the truth. And, a loss like this and the way it happened, it was everybody across every aspect of that game.
It wasn't – so Lord Chancellor says, bro, you change the play before you execute the first play, bro. The part of being a general on the field. Gruden is challenging Carr. Even Gruden was getting pissed. But Gruden, you're making the play call. And as your coaching staff and Tom Cable didn't make no adjustments to that offensive line.
That's just it. Carr can make those audibles and make those play calls. But if the guys up front are not blocking, it's gonna go for naught anyway. It's not gonna work.
Exactly. People need to understand when you play the game of football, me being a former football player, you being a former football player, or probably coaching as well, you gotta build your team through the offense and the defensive line. Then everything else works. Your wide receivers works, your running backs works, your quarterbacks works, your tight end works. If you don't have blocking, you don't have a team. If you don't have a pass rush, you don't have a defense. It's simple football. It's simple football. If you have not played or coached a game of football in your life, you need to go look at the game tape, because I will be breaking down this game tape on NFL Games Pass. I will be. Sorry to say. And I'm going to show you how Colton Miller got bullied by that linebacker every single time he blitzed.
And Chase Winovich was in our backfield all day long.
And who was blocking him? Colton Miller. Colton Miller, and then he'll go over and bully on Denzel Good.
Yeah,
that's why it was 3 and outs.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Omar, for the $5 donation. Thank you, Omar. He said, say what you want about Carr. Mariota isn't the answer, and Brown and Williams must go. Tyrell Williams, I already said that he has to go, in my personal opinion. We pay him too much to be getting hurt every year. And Trent Brown, something gotta be done with his contract, because you're not showing nothing of that $20 million guaranteed. You play in a half a quarter in the home opener, and you was nowhere to be found after that over a calf injury. That's not even a pulled muscle or anything of that nature. So technically, you're just babying a calf that you can play through. Josh Jacobs got a hip injury, and he played through a hip injury, but you can't play through a calf injury. Yep. You're just stealing money from the Raiders. You're stealing money. Yeah, 3 and outs on both sides of the ball ain't going to win games either. But the only way 3 and outs is going to happen if you make good play calling. I didn't see no plays. I didn't see no run plays from the outside. None. Right. Where was the stretch plays that we did against Carolina and we did against New Orleans? Where's the stretch plays at? Nowhere to be found. Once again,
that goes back to game planning. That goes back to the coaches. That game planning, you've got to set that shit up. Especially when you go up against a team like a Bill Belichick coach team. I don't give a crap who he's got on that field. You may not know a single player that they have, but you know one thing they will be? They're going to be coached. They're going to be held accountable. And if he knows you're not doing a good job, guess what? He's going to put somebody else in there that will. And he will make those in-game adjustments. Belichick beat us today. He flat out outsmarted, outcoached, and we made no adjustments whatsoever throughout the entire portion of that football game at all. No, I don't know if this was the hangover from the Monday night win against, New Orleans. I don't know. I mean, I understand. Short week. You got done playing on Monday night. Big win. Emotional win. I get it. Guys were banged up from that game. And then you got to fly cross country. All the way across. And then guess who's over there? Bill Belichick. You got to game plan better, especially for those head coaches. We're getting it again here in a couple of weeks. We get Andy Reid. You think he's going to be prepared? You bet your ass he's going to be prepared. They're going to be ready for us. So, I mean, once again, I mean, it's a lot of game planning's got to go in. Gruden, the whole coaching staff has got to do a better job of getting these guys ready each and every week when they go out there to play.
You're right on the money. You're right on the money, man. Like I said, this game was a game that we should have won. We should have won the game. I think if Carlson would have made that field goal, it would have changed everything. But
yes,
you got to look at the coaches, what they did. Like I'm going to keep repeating it because I don't understand how he did not take advantage of that opportunity. I think John Gruden needs to bring a more up-tempo offense.
Yes.
I think it needs to be more up-tempo. Bill Belichick gave y'all the game. He gave us the game with three. He used all three timeouts in that second half before the game was over. It was 12 minutes left. 12 minutes and 36 seconds to be exact when he called his final timeout, and you still want to go into the huddle and let the clock run and don't do no up-tempo. It was no sense of urgency, and it was not up-tempo offense. You should have took advantage of that. If that was me, I would have, because once you go into the huddle, that's when the Patriots can switch out players, bring fresh legs in. But if you had a rolling no huddle, they didn't have time to switch players. Yep. We should have took advantage of that. Yep. And then we would have went up and scored. But if we can score in 28 seconds by the end of the half, what makes you think we can't do it if we don't have a no huddle?
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, if you can score in 28 seconds, you should be able to do that all game long. You should be able to go up and down that field the exact same way the whole game. And they didn't. They went back to their basic play calling, and it hurt them.
The basic play calling, that I formation 2002 Buccaneers offense that I've been saying that John Gruden needs to open up the playbook. You have a receiver in Nelson Aguilar that could do multiple things. You have Zay Jones that had a good game last week, but he was nowhere to be found. You're not giving him enough snaps. What was the point of bringing in Jason Witten if you're not going to utilize him? Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Patriots win tonight, 36-20. Raiders feel good today. Hey, Patriots Sports Talk. Listen, y'all won. Y'all won fair and square. Fair and square. Us as coaches, y'all outcoached us. Y'all outcoached us as a team. Facts is facts.
They made the plays.
Gruden should have challenged that fumble by Jacobs. That's another coaching thing that he should have did that he didn't do. It's another thing that he didn't do. Too many missed tackles on defense. I can say that as well, but that defense was on the field too long. The defense was on the field more than our offense. Usually our offense is more on the field than our defense. I don't think we got lucky against the Saints. We beat the Saints where it counted. Yeah. We beat them when it counted. Defensively, mind you, finally now you notice that last year when we was the Raiders, we wasn't getting interceptions. We're getting interceptions. We're just not capitalized on them. We're getting the turnovers now. So,
and the defense in that first half, they did look a lot better. I mean, we got some picks now. We're getting to the quarterback. Crosby's got his first 2 of the year in the same game. I mean, as I said, I mean, we were outcoached today. Plain and simple. Patriots made plays. We didn't. End of story.
That is the actual fact. But I want to get into the team stats as well, because I want to break this team stats down. Now, for the game leaders of most of the positions, like I said before, Derek Carr, 24 of 32, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yes, he did have quarterback fumbles because he was sacked. That's how that happened. He didn't throw interceptions or anything of that nature. So he still don't have no interceptions on the year within 3 weeks. I'll take that.
I'm good with that.
You had Cam Newton. He was 17 of 28, 162 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Sony Michel had 9 carries for 117 yards. Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 71 yards. playing on a bad hip, on a sore hip probably. And then you have Hunter Renfrow with 6 receptions, 84 yards and a touchdown. When you had Rex Burkhead, every 7 receptions that he had was screenplays. Seven receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown. Let's get into this team stats. New England Patriots total yards was 406 to our 375. So technically, the total yardage is not off. Even though that Carr was getting sacked majority of the time or getting pressured, it's not off. It's not off. It's not off at all. And then you have 25 first downs to our 22. The score might look the way it look, but if you want to look at the team stats, it's neck and neck.
Yeah,
it's really neck and neck. Third down efficiency, we were 3 of 9. They was 3 of 11 on third down. They had 68 plays. They had 56 plays. They did outplay us due to the fact that defense was on the field more. We both had 11 total drives. We both was averaging 6 yards per play. They outdid us in rushing. They 250 rushing to our 126.
That's the game. And that was the game.
That was the game. That's the key thing right there. And then you had 2 penalties for 33 yards for New England, when we had 6 penalties for 40 yards. 6 penalties for 40 yards.
Still, that ain't bad. That's not bad.
Man, we had 6 penalties going into the game, and we had 6 in this game alone. So technically, it's 12 penalties within 3 weeks, which is still a little bit low, but we got to do it. We got to clean up.
Yes.
We got to clean up. And they say Cleveland Farrell is a bust. I disagree. The guy
he had
played
a good game today.
He had a good game today. I don't know what y'all watching. He had a good game today, in my opinion.
He forced a lot of pressure up the middle on the edges. He was in there on damn near every play.
Sure was.
How can you say the guy had a bad because he didn't get a sack?
Right.
Get out of here. That isn't what the whole game's about. He had a good game. He was disruptive. He did his thing.
Sure did. He sure did. We had 3 turnovers, and that was 3 fumbles that was lost. It should be 2 if John Gruden actually challenged one of those, but
right.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, the Patriots did stop the run, but y'all still give up 375 total yards.
Yes.
Y'all still give up 375 total yards. I still feel like we still was able to put up 20 points. We could have put up more. It could have been 23 to 36 if Carson would have made the field goal. I'm just saying. But time of possession. The time of possession was 34 minutes and 39 seconds to our 25 minutes and 21 seconds. That tells it right there. That tells it right there. They had the ball for 34 minutes in this game. Running the football and screens. I really didn't care for the wide receivers because Bird had 1 big catch. You had Harry that had okay catch. Julian Edelman wasn't a factor in this game. It was the running backs. The running backs had more receptions than your receivers. So I do want to give kudos to our corners because we didn't let those receivers go off. We just couldn't stop our front 7 couldn't stop the running backs.
Well, it's like I was saying, they raided the Raiders today.
Mm-hmm.
They literally used what Gruden and everything does for most of his offense, and they went ahead and they did the exact same thing and fried us on it.
And I got a question though. Why Devontae Booker ain't get the ball enough in this game, knowing that Josh Jacobs was hurting? He only had 3 carries for 31 yards, but it says 10.3 yards an average for Devontae Booker. Why we didn't go to him when Josh Jacobs was hurting?
I was saying the same thing. I don't understand why they're not using Devontae Booker more. He made the team for a reason, correct? They brought him in for a reason, correct? It's time to start using everything that you have at your disposal. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You got to give JJ some breaks. You got to give the man some breaks. He cannot do it all. As you said, he's banged up. He's got that hip ailing right now. You've got a guy that, as you said, was averaging over 10 yards a play. You have to use your guys right.
I didn't see Jalen Richard out there a lot either, knowing that we use him on third downs. We didn't see him out there enough. And Jalen Richard, he had one carry for 14 yards, but one carry, that's not enough, man. That's not enough. And then my thing is this, though, like you made Devontae Booker, you had Devontae Booker make the team, and this is where Lynn Bowden Jr. comes into play. Where there's another weapon on our offense that has speed that we end up trading for a linebacker that looked non-existing today. I'm just saying. I was big on Lynn Bowden Jr., and we got rid of a playmaker that could have helped us out even more. Now, when it comes to Sony Michel, he had 9 carries, 117 yards. Rex Burkhead, he had 6 carries for 49 yards. J.J. Taylor, 11 carries for 43 yards. Cam Newton, 9 carries for 27 yards. Huh? Sony Michel, 13 yards per carry? His longest was 48? Rex Burkhead, 8.2 yards a carry? Nah. And I can just tell about these wide receivers from the Patriots. Burkhead, as a running back, led the receiving core for the New England Patriots. Sorry to say, but like they was balling. And let's get to we want to talk about defense, right? We want to talk about Cleveland Farrell, right? Let's look at, I could say Nicholas Morrow had 9 total tackles, 7 solo. Surprisingly, LaMarcus Joyner had 6 total tackles. Maurice Hurst had 6 total tackles with 5 of them was solo. Cleveland Farrell had 4 total tackles with 4 solo, plus the pressure that he was putting on the quarterback helping Max Crosby. But let's look at Jonathan Jones, and Jonathan Jones was the lead person in total tackles with 5 solo. The rest of them was like 6, 7, 5, 4, 4. It wasn't really many, but I'm looking at the stats. Like, how we not win this game? Looking at the stats.
Well, I looked at some of the things that Abram was doing today. Outside of that interception that he made, he's not wrapping up when he's tackling. He had a lot where he was just going in, just trying to hit and knock him down. Against good teams, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to wrap up on your tackles. How many times did he miss them? I mean, I don't know what was up with him today, but he just didn't seem himself out there. But, he wasn't wrapping up. I mean, as I said, I don't know if this is a hangover from the Monday Nighter, or not. I don't know. A short week, and then you're flying coast to coast. That's pretty tough, I wish we could have got this win. This is one that I had marked down as a win. But they're going to put this behind them fast. I mean, that's just it. They're going to have to take this game and put this one in the rearview mirror quick and get ready for Buffalo next week.
And Buffalo had a battle with the Rams today. I thought the Rams won the game until the last seconds in the quarter, and you got a Josh Allen that's playing at an all-time high.
Our defense is going to be definitely tested next week when Josh Allen, those Bills come into Vegas.
I mean, we felt that. Yes, I do feel deflated after this game, man. I do feel deflated after this game, but I feel like what Derek Carr said in his press conference that we let this one get away from us, and I agree. We let this one get away from us because we gave them too many opportunities after opportunity after opportunity, and Bill Belichick was like, "Okay, you want to give me all of this?
He'll take it.
Okay, we'll take it."
Yep.
And Rick Grimes said Carr equals a lemon. I don't know what you mean by that. But any Carr apologist wants to reply with delusional comments, feel free. Listen, I said what I said about Derek Carr. I don't see nobody in these comments talk about the offensive line. I don't hear nothing about the offensive line. This goes for any type of sport. I mean, this is for any team in the NFL or any type of football team, from little league to high school to middle school to college to the professionals to the pros. No matter what type of professional football that you're playing, if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have a quarterback, you don't have running backs, you don't have a receiver, if you don't have an offensive line,
you got it.
Sorry to say. You can say whatever you got to say about Derek Carr. The numbers don't lie. I counted missed 5 wide receiver deep pass because Carr didn't go through his progressions. How can you go through a progression when he's getting pressure? How can you go through a progression? What is these Raiders fans smoking crack? I'm trying to figure it out.
I be honest with you, man. I've tried to, and once they got their mind stuck on something, I just let it go.
I'm letting it go, but they're smoking crack right now. They got to be smoking. He was pressured. I wish they had that stat, how many times he was pressured on the box score, but that's not even considered a stat. But how many times Colton Miller was getting beat up every single time off the ball. And it was good coverage outside of that. The plays that you refer to, okay, 5 plays doesn't make a game.
No.
5 plays doesn't make a game. You can think that I'm wrong. If you want to put Mariota in, let's see if Mariota does better. I bet you he'll disappoint you more than Derek Carr.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
Why do you think Mariota lost his job to Tannehill last year? But y'all everybody's voting for Mariota. No. Carr's the better quarterback. Numbers don't lie.
You got it.
261 yards and 2 touchdowns and no interceptions the whole year. Sorry to say, you can say what you want. He was getting pressured. Yeah. If you think that he wasn't getting pressured, go look at that game again. Why you think they got the fumble? Why you think they got the fumble for a touchdown? Because Carr couldn't get nobody open. He was smothered.
Well, see, that's another thing too. Those wide receivers have got to get separation. They've got to get themselves open somehow, some way, to where Carr can get rid of that football. Period. You got to get open as a wide receiver.
Right. You got to get open as a wide receiver. But in the same token, when you have a half a second to look downfield and go through your progressions in half a second.
Issue. Yep, that's the issue.
You said ask Dan Marino that. Yeah, Dan Marino probably was an all-time passer, but he doesn't have a Super Bowl. And why does that? Why does he have a Super Bowl? If you want to talk Dan Marino, why doesn't he have a Super Bowl? I'm sorry to say, but I'm not blaming this on Derek Carr. Don't blame this game on Derek Carr. Blame the defense. Can Derek Carr miss field goals? No, he cannot. Can Derek Carr tackle? No, he cannot. Like, what are you saying?
Yep, I agree.
Can Derek Carr play in coverage? No, he cannot. Can Derek Carr play special teams? No, he cannot. Can Derek Carr play on the offensive line? No, he cannot. It was a winnable game. We lost it. Now we move on to the Bills.
Yep.
That's just what it is. Yep. All right, here's Fish Raider said, here's the thing. Ruggs had 79 yard separation from DBs in his first 2 games. Which I understand that, but he was out. But what you should have did was the next fastest player on the Raiders, you should have put him in that Henry Ruggs situations.
Well, and that thing with Ruggs too. Let's go to this real quick, okay? A lot of things. Henry Ruggs is a rookie, and if he was open, 79 yards down, Carr didn't see him, didn't look his way for some reason. They've got to have that chemistry built. Everybody's got to remember there was no off season. There were no OTAs. He hasn't had a lot of time to work up that rapport with a lot of these guys yet, learning on the fly.
Right.
Give this time. It will happen. As long as the line blocks and gives Derek time, he will start finding Ruggs when he's out there on Sundays. Just don't get too frustrated yet. It's early. And listen, we're still 2-1. We are still 2-1, where everybody else projected us to be 1-2 at this time.
Mm-hmm. And Valerie makes a good point. Marcus Mariota would have been a downgrade from Carr. Sure, Marcus can run and he can run Gruden's offense, but be accurate. I know Derek Carr knows the offense, and he's very accurate. He just had an off day. It happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much for that. And then he says, Stan says, if someone said to start the season would be 2-1 after week 3, I'll have been happy. Target realistically a wild card, right? Absolutely. We're 2-1. People are downplaying Carr like we're 0-5.
Right.
Like
we're sitting in a good spot. We're 2-1. We're going home. Right. And yeah, we're playing a really good Bills team on this upcoming Sunday. Right. So, I mean, to be quite honest, I'd rather win them all at home. Winning against the Patriots would have been great. But listen, there was a lot of things going against us from from the time this schedule came out. 1, we're going on a short week. 2, we're flying cross coast. And then 3, we're going up against a very, very well-prepared head coach in Bill Belichick. Let's stop kidding ourselves here. We went into a situation. We started out fast. He made those in-game adjustments. They won.
They outcoached us.
They won. They outcoached us.
They outcoached us. So please stop saying Carr when you tell John Gruden to call better plays and utilize the players that we have, like a Rico Gafford and the Nelson Aguilar and Zay Jones and those boys. But people want to point out Derek Carr. But how many snaps did Nelson Aguilar have? He was barely in the game. Zay Jones was barely in the game. Yeah. Like what? Derek Carr John Gruden went to that I formation, fullback first. Mind you, don't give the ball to Ingold enough. Don't give him enough touches in the passing game. The coach, John Gruden, had a bad coaching game plan coming into this game. If you want to make it all excuses for Derek Carr, then you're not a real Raiders fan. Sorry to say it.
I'm with you.
You have to look at it from a team aspect. It was a team loss. You can't blame everything on the quarterback. And I don't care if it's any team in the NFL. It's a team loss. The guy did not throw any interceptions in this game, and you still want to blame a quarterback where you have a coach that's still living in 2002. Sorry to say. Gruden, I understand you want to go into the shotgun, but you had no creativity in the shotgun. You hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs in the shotgun. He's not a shotgun type of running back. You got to put a fullback in front of Josh Jacobs, which is Alec Ingold. But nobody sees that. Nobody sees that. I coached football for more than 15 years. I'm an offensive coordinator. I used to be an offensive coordinator. I know what I'm talking about. You got to learn how to utilize your players. You brought in all these people in the offseason. How are you utilizing them? You're not utilizing Witten. You're not utilizing Foster Moreau enough. Yes, Brian Edwards should have had more targets before he got hurt.
Yeah.
But you're not utilizing them because Belichick took our best player out, and you had no adjustment when they took our best player, Waller, out. You had no adjustment. None.
The thing about it is, you knew going in they were going to do that. That's what Belichick's known for. He always takes your best players out of the game and makes you try to beat him with other players. So going into this game, he had to have known what Coach Belichick was going to do. And you have to adjust. And that did not happen at all throughout the course of that entire football game today.
All I'm going to say is this. Even John Gruden said it in his press conference. He didn't know what the hell was going on the defensive side. He said in his press conference, he really didn't have much to say.
Got beat. He got manhandled.
He got beat. No, I'm being honest, loyal to the soil. If you want to blame Derek Carr for every loss that we have, that doesn't make you a real Raiders fan. It doesn't make you loyal because you don't see all the other mistakes around Derek Carr with the defense and the special teams and the penalties that we got. That wasn't even Derek Carr's fault. That's what I'm saying. Like, It was a lot of stuff that went into this game. You just can't blame Derek Carr. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't. Like, that's why I said it's certain Raiders fans out there that look at all three aspects of the game. But it's some Raiders fans out there that because Derek Carr is the franchise quarterback, everything goes on him. No, it doesn't. And Stan says that JJ wasn't 100%. It could only be the reason he wasn't used as much. Same as Waller. No, Waller was shut down. They had all different types of looks on Waller. Yeah. And it had nothing to do. Carr could have how Carr could extend plays. How Carr could extend plays when after the ball is snapped, he's already getting pressure in 0.5 seconds.
You know, arguing with him ain't going to do any good, man, because, the whole simple fact is they were complaining about Derek when we were 2-0.
Yeah, they was complaining about Derek Carr when we was 2-0.
So,
but now, since we got one loss, they want to get out of here, man.
Be honest, bro, we could have been 16-0, won a damn Super Bowl, and still would have been something wrong with Derek Carr.
Yup. That is a fact. That is a fact. We could have went. Even when we went 12-4 in 2016, they still said bad stuff about Derek Carr.
Right.
Listen, at the end of the day, we're not missing what you're saying, loyal to us. So we're not missing what you're saying. But you're not listening to what we're saying. Offensive line makes everything work. If you don't have blocking, you don't have a successful offense. That's what we're telling you.
Now, if Derek was making some bonehead plays out there, throwing picks to straight to a defensive player or doing something ridiculous like that, he did not do anything in this game to lose this game for us.
Thank you. I'm questioning your loyalty. Sorry to say. You say you've been a fan since 1978. Well, you need to treat it as a team loss and not a Derek Carr loss. If you've been a fan since 78.
You'd also know then that Derek Carr's now started more games in franchise history than any other quarterback.
Right. Do you know that much? But I believe in Derek Carr. I think that most of the nation believes in Derek Carr. And I believe in him. I think, mind you, he has no turnovers within 3 games. No interceptions. Yes, he has 2 fumble losses of being sacked. Yeah, that's fine. But I prefer that than an interception.
Yes.
I'll prefer that than an interception, in my opinion. But going into next week's game against the Buffalo Bills, I think the number one thing that we have to focus on offense is getting our offensive line together.
Yes.
Offensively.
Get healthy fast.
Get healthy fast. Hopefully Sam Young can be active so we can get Denzel Good or Simpson out of there. One or the other. Hopefully Ruggs can come back next week. That would be a big thing for us. Ruggs can come back next week. That gives them more dynamic. Hopefully we can see what happened with Brian Edwards. He did come down kind of awkwardly. Hopefully, he's good to go. Defensively, we need Amik Robertson. I'm sorry to say that's another corner that we're missing right now. We're missing Nick Kowalski. You can see it all in our defense. We
definitely need Nick Kwiatkowski right now. We need him bad.
Yeah, we need him bad. He's our signal caller on the defense. He's our signal caller, and it makes Corey Littleton's job a little bit easier when Nick is in the game.
Because I think now Corey's playing out of position.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why, you're not hearing a lot of Corey Littleton right now, but he is straight up playing out of position. I think once Nick Kwiatkowski comes back, I think we're going to start seeing him making plays like we knew we can.
So, it is what it is. I just feel like offensively, John Gruden, you got to get if Ruggs cannot go this week, right? If Ruggs cannot go this week, you got to put your speedsters in that spot and give them the Henry Ruggs treatment. You got to make it look like we have a deep threat in some sorts if Ruggs cannot go. Like I said, Nelson Aguilar is one of those speedsters that you could put in there. He's tall. Number one. He's a little bit taller than Henry Ruggs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
And he's just as fast as Henry Ruggs. So hopefully we can, get this going and utilize our running backs a little bit more in, defensively. Jonathan Abram, I'm gonna tell you now, everything is not a hit stick. Everything is not a hit stick. And I could say our defensive line did well. Linebackers and safeties got to get better. If we force this stuff to the inside, we got to scrape over as linebackers. And J-Dog, he is good. He's just playing out of position. He's playing in a position that he doesn't play. He's not a signal caller type of linebacker.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all have to understand this, man. People said this about LaMarcus Joyner. LaMarcus Joyner is a safety. He's not a corner. If Gutner has him playing somewhere where he's uncomfortable, where he's not going to succeed. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what's happening with Corey Littleton right now. You making him the middle linebacker signal caller when he doesn't play middle linebacker. He plays outside. That's why we brought in Nick Kowalski. That's why we brought Nick Kowalski in, because he plays that middle linebacker position. So we really don't have a true middle linebacker right now. And you got Corey Littleton playing a position that Paul Gutner is not teaching them how to play. And this is why I say Paul Gutner needs to be fired, because even though Kowalski went down, you're still putting Corey Littleton at outside linebacker, but when the game starts, you put him starting middle. You don't know what he's doing. And Cleaner Farrell played good today. Cleaner Farrell played good today. I don't know what these Raiders fans are seeing on TV, but he played a hell of a game today.
They just want to see the sacks. That's all they want. They want
to see sacks, but they're not actually looking at the productivity of tackles for losses and tackles in the backfield, stopping screen plays, pressures. They're not seeing that.
Right. Yep. And I'm sure he's going to grade out as one of the better defensive players we had today.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes all the way down, I thought he really caused a lot of havoc in there.
And Damon Arnett re-injured that thumb. So that cast looked bigger than what it was. He had to get it recast.
Yeah, he's wearing a club now.
Yeah, he's technically wearing a club now. So as far as Carter, him tackling, he's damn near tackling what 9 fingers?
Yeah.
And half of those 9 fingers are covered with a damn cast.
Yeah.
Like it's we saw some good, we saw some bad, but it was a team loss.
Yep. And the season's still early.
And it's still early. It's not like it's the end of the world that we lost this game. I did go out on a limb and say, yes, we was going to win 30-27. That's what I said in my pregame show with my squad, the Spotlight Sports Network. I felt like we was going to shock the world again. And it looked like that in the beginning.
Yes, it did.
I believe Morrow is the middle linebacker, right? In some sorts, I think he's the middle linebacker, but him and Corey Littleton switches out back and forth. Because Morrow is really good. He's good in coverage, but he's not as good as Littleton. But they flip-flop back and forth. Sometimes I see Corey Littleton in the middle. Sometimes I see Morrow in the middle. It depends on the scheme.
Yep.
Gutner should have been gone. I think when they brought in Rob Millinari, I said, Rob Millinari, he's getting his defensive line together. If Gutner is not getting this defense to where we're supposed to be, I wouldn't mind promoting Rob Millinari to defensive coordinator. I would not mind it.
No. But I don't think any changes will be made till either the bye week during week 6. And if nothing's made then, I don't know when they're going to make the change then. If they're even going to make the change, who knows?
Right. John Gruden loves Paul Gutner, which I don't understand why he does. It doesn't make any sense to me why he does. It sucks. It sucks to how you like a guy that makes us dead last in defense every single year since he's been here.
Can't blame it on the talent this year. A lot of that talent's there.
Can't blame it on the talent. Stan says that the young team is all experience, disappointing, but we're moving forward. Absolutely.
Agree with you, buddy.
I 100% agree with you. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, y'all won the game. I even reached out to the guy, Patriots Global, that was on his show during the week. I said, good game. Good game. Y'all was out. We was out coached. We was outplayed. If we had 6 days to prepare.
6 days. Yeah.
Which I'm not making an excuse for them because we're still professional. They're still professional football players at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But in some things gotta get prepared. Starting this upcoming week, it gotta be a solid practice. Get everybody back healthy. And we got a tough Buffalo. We got a tough Buffalo Bills, this upcoming week. Hopefully, Tuesday, if you're up for it, you want to talk about the preview of that game. Just let me know if you're available for it. Trent Brown gone was bad. Trent Brown, I don't even want to get into him.
Yeah,
he's nursing a baby ass calf injury that he should be out there playing.
Yes,
it's a tough loss. We'll be moving forward. We will be moving forward without the fumbles and the missed field goal. It's a 6-point game at worst. It is. Valerie says we should use Booker and Rashard more and give Jacobs a break. Definitely, if he's hurting and can't ride the horse to death and mix up. Thank you, Valerie.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you so much, Valerie. I really do appreciate your opinion because you're thinking just like we're thinking. The missed field goal was bad. Yeah, they could have tied the game up for us. Mind you, we shut down Cam Newton. He had no rushing touchdowns on us.
Hell, he barely had any rushing yards against us.
That's
but then again, he didn't have to. We couldn't shut down their other 3. He didn't need to take off. He had the other guys.
Absolutely. That's true. That's true. But big up to the New England Patriots.
What they said. It's a learning experience, with the young ball club. Take this loss, learn from this loss, get mad, come back angry. Mm-hmm. You're going to be at home. You've got the 3-0 Buffalo Bills coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Take one. Take one.
There's nothing wrong with taking the L of football. You learn from it and you move forward. If you don't make any adjustments within the next couple of weeks, there's the issue.
Definitely.
But as lose, especially like Valerie said, guys got to get healthy, like Trent Brown, Nick, Henry, Richie Incognito was missed today.
Oh, definitely.
He was missed badly today. And
the one good thing I will say about this, though, when the guys do eventually come back, we're going to have an extremely deep offensive line with all the playing time that these guys on our bench are going to have under their belts. Man, I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to benefit the team moving forward. Right now, it sucks, yes. But once we do get our guys back and healthy again, I think that's when you can end up, giving somebody a rest, put somebody in, and you're going to have, it's not going to change anything, really. So right. I kind of like what's going on, right? At least they're going to be able to get that, but we'll see in time. I mean, it's going to be getting guys back. We won't get Richie back until after the break anyway. In week 6, we'll get him back week 7, hopefully. Trent Brown, nobody knows what's going on there. I don't even know what's going on with Sam Young, to be honest with you.
I didn't even know Sam Young got hurt, honestly.
He got hurt literally minutes after Trent Brown went down. And up until today, Denzel Good was playing great at right tackle. Up until today. Converted guard. So, I mean, honestly, the guy had a bad game. It happens.
Right.
We went up against pros on that side of the field too. So, as I said, we took one on the chin today, hold our heads high, come back next week and hope for a victory at home against Buffalo.
Yeah, I do want to give Buffalo their first loss of the year.
Yes.
But I'm really going to break down that game as well. I'm going to make sure I have some analysis going into that game because I want to see what the Buffalo Bills' weaknesses are. Because the thing about it is, with the Buffalo Bills, they had a 28-7 lead. And they let the Rams come back and score 32 points on them.
Good football, though. Don't sell them short. Those Rams have been playing some good football to start this year.
Which is completely understandable. But the question for Buffalo was, did they really just let up like that? So think about it. This defense is supposed to be good, which I think it is good. But giving up 32 points when you're up 28-7.
Right.
We're going to look into that coming to this upcoming week show. We're going to look into that and see how the Raiders can exploit it. Valerie says, I think Paul would be gone during the bye week if the defense can't step it up. I like Paul, but this defense isn't working. Know the players are very young, but can't give up 250 yards in rushing.
Agreed.
It's facts. It's facts. But I do want to thank everybody for coming. Now, any final words before we head out, Chad?
Tough loss. Better to get it out of the way early than late. As I said, just regroup, come back next week, and hopefully we get the dub then.
All right, so that will be it for us today. That will be it for us. That was the post-game live show of the Patriots winning 30. Patriots have 36, Raiders 20. Tough loss at the end of the day. Tough loss at the end. Mind you, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock would be 7 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock your time. Would that be good for you?
That would be work out perfect.
All right, so Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will be here. I will be putting a breakdown and analysis video up of this recap of this game, and then we're just going to move forward into the Buffalo Bills matchup in week 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, week 4. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this wonderful show. We will see y'all on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go to SpotlightSportsNetwork.com. I do have Spotlight Raiders Talk t-shirts there with the outside of our Death Star, and it has Spotlight Raiders Talk one, and it says "Just Win, Baby." Just go to SpotlightSportsNetwork.com and hit the merch tab if you want to support and get a shirt. That's absolutely fine. But Tuesday night, 7 Eastern Standard Time, make sure that y'all here for the show, for the matchup between the Buffalo Bills. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're out of here. Peace, love, and blessings. See y'all Tuesday night.
Once a Raider, bruh. Always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that.